Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about the set 15 SCRs and some pretty cool ways to use them. Sorry about not uploading yesterday. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Definitely feeling better than yesterday, so I'll be getting better as we go into the weekend's videos, but I do want to just apologize that I might also still sound a little stuffy. But anyways, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, many ways to do so. But if you want to buy any secret rares or pre-order any of the cards we talk about in today's video, be sure to use my link in the description to TCG Play. It really does help out a lot. Even if you want to buy TCG cards for a different game, it really does help out. But anyways, let's get started. And we will be talking about the Radiant Sands. So we have an 8-drop 40k red blue SCR. Now the whole theme of this set, I guess minus one SCR, is like a team up SCR. And while these characters don't necessarily make sense together in a team up, it's pretty cool to see characters like this on a card together. I kind of like decks like that where you play a lot of characters that wouldn't normally be on a team together. So I do like how cards are designed like that with these SCRs. So ultimate energy exhaust, permanent, this card's removed from your battle area, it's removed from the game instead. Permanent, if your opponent has 2 or more energy and your leader card is red, blue, or shares a character name with this card gains double strike and critical. So we have a big 40k double strike crit, and most likely you will be playing this in that type of deck, right? So auto, it's for 2 energy at the end of a battle in which this card was used in a combo from your hand. You may play this card from your drop area. If you don't, choose up to 4 of your opponent's battle cards, place them at the bottom of the owner's decks, and then remove this card in your drop area from the game. So a couple things here. So you have a very cheap 40k double strike crit, although it does require you to go second if you want to drop it on turn 2 specifically. But other than that, very big double strike critical. Or you combo it, pay 2, and you get to wipe 4 battle cards from your opponent's field. Also important to keep in mind with this and the green yellow SCR, we'll see in a second, that it's a 0-10k combo. So you are paying 2 to activate it, but unlike pretty much every other SCR in the game that's a battle card, this is a 0 cost combo. So you can almost think of it like a super combo, but a super combo with a juiced up effect of potentially wiping your opponent's board. So this can be very, very good. Like, I'm not going to put on the same level as Kai, nowhere near that, but if you can't afford Kai and looking for more of like a budget SCR and your main goal is to wipe boards, this is a very, very good option for that, as long as you're playing the leader type that corresponds with this. So that's very, very good. So 2 energy, wipe the board, I like it a lot. And I can see the 40k aggression piece also being pretty relevant. So I do want to talk about some strategies that I would consider playing this card in. Firstly, we have Kava. So Kava can be a much more aggressive blue deck, so a big 40k double strike crit definitely strikes me as something you'd want to consider. And the board wipe's not really so needed in Kava because your rivals already offer you a good amount of removal. Both Vegeta Kava Lessons Learned and SS2 Kefla both offer you solid removal, so that part wouldn't be too important. But if you wanted to be a super aggressive version of Kava, or just a more aggressive blue deck in general, this could be a pretty solid SCR for that. Launch is another cool one to consider because it is a SCR that wants you to combo, so Launch will get the draw from that, and then you can pay the 2 to either play it or wipe the board. And with Launch, the board wiping pretty nice, especially because you have a decent amount of removal with cooler and whatnot, but if your opponent's playing bigger battle cards, you have to drop multiple coolers to be able to minus them enough to get them off the board. So if your opponent's playing battle cards that are just too big, the Radiant Sands can come in and just kind of bottom deck any problems you're having. And in a deck like this, having more removal isn't necessarily a bad thing. It is really cool to experiment with SCRs that have to combo to activate, like Radiant Sands, like Yellow Sin SCR from I think it's set 13 possibly. But yeah, there's secrets like that are pretty cool to mess around with and launch, because she will get the benefit of comboing them and then drawing and then resolving their effects. Soul Striker is another cool deck to look at this with, because with Soul Striker, the 2 energy you invest in the Radiant Sands could actually be kind of free, because your leader can just swing and get the energy back. So that's a pretty cool way to think about SCR being almost like a 0 cost completely in a deck like this. Like a 2 energy play in Soul Striker is like bread and butter. Like, it's just practically free as long as you still have your leader swing and don't plan on tapping out anyway else the rest of the turn. So pretty cool things to consider there. The next SCR I'll be talking about is the Wicked Sands. 8-drop 40k green yellow, again 0 cost 10k combo. Ultimate energy exhaust, permanent, this card is removed from your battle area, remove it from the game instead. Permanent, if your opponent has 2 or more energy and your leader card is green, yellow, or shares a character name with this card gains dual attack and blocker. So it can be an aggressive 40k swinging twice, or swing once and then block the next attack. So auto pay 2 at the end of a battle in which this card was used in a combo from your hand. your opponent may choose 4 of their cards and switch into rest mode. If they do, remove this card in your drop area from the game. If they don't, play this card from your drop area, and your opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and discards them. Okay, so the way this is worded leads me to believe that they have to tap 4, otherwise you play this guy. So for example, if your opponent only controls 3 cards that are untapped, you'll be playing this guy no matter what. Because normally in Dragon Ball Super we have the rule of, resolve as much as possible, but this is worded in such a way that they specifically have to tap 4 cards, and if they don't, you'll be playing this guy. So you can guarantee to play this guy in those scenarios, whether it's early game, your opponent only has so many cards in play, or you just manipulate your opponent's board in such a way that they only have so many cards they can possibly tap. And in green, you can pop rested cards, or you can pop active cards to make sure they can't rest them. In yellow, you can tap things to make sure they have not enough things to tap for this guy. So those are ways you can kind of manipulate this card coming into play when you want it to. I can see a minor problem happening, like when you really want this guy coming into play, your opponent just taps 4 instead. But I mean, still, if your opponent's tapping 4 cards, odds are they're probably going to be tapping some amount of energy, some amount of really key battle cards. It's going to be kind of annoying if they have a field card in play, because that's just like a free tap they get to do for this. It would have been kind of interesting if it said non-field cards, but obviously they aren't going to go out of their way to put that on the card. But yeah, if they have a field card, that's kind of like a free card they get to tap and not really feel the negative effects of this card. But still, some strategies where this can be pretty cool. Of course, we have Cell Surge. So this is a secret rare that rips cards from hand, which is pretty rare. So kind of makes sense to play it in Cell Surge. Although again, Kai just giving you that board wipe and unison removal is very, very solid. SS Broly, Demon Second Coming. This is the red Broly leader in set 15. And then the front side of this leader says that you can only include Broly battle cards in your deck. And the Wicked Saiyan's SCR is considered a Broly card. So even though it's not red, you could include it. And that could be cool because you're playing this type of like attrition based deck with red Broly in set 15, where you just want to whittle your opponent's resources down to near 0. And you're not exactly playing hand control, but you're playing a lot of big beefy battle cards. You can give crit. Your leader can easily become a 40k crit just off of a few cards. So that can be really solid. And playing this turn 2 SCR to take some cards out of their hand and put some early pressure on them is not bad. And then Turles Fiendish Force, it's a green based leader. You can obviously play a lot of hand control cards in this, like Rosie, like Rebrand, stuff like that. And then having a really big SCR that can rip more cards out of their hand is pretty solid. So some pretty interesting ways to play this SCR. We will get into the last 2 SCRs, guys, but real quick, a word from today's video sponsor. Dragon Ballers, real quick before we get into today's video, just want to share something with you guys that I am very excited about. PPG is going to be hosting the Pro Support TCG weekend in Dallas, Texas, the weekend of November 6th. It's going to be a giant TCG convention weekend hosting all your favorite games, obviously Dragon Ball Super, Digimon, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and more. Tournaments for all of those. I'm actually going to be there commentating the Dragon Ball Super side of things, the main event on Saturday, the side events on Sunday. I absolutely cannot wait. And if you guys missed out on Gen Con or heard me talk about how much fun that was, you're 110% going to want to be at the Pro Support TCG weekend. The other great thing too is it's just 2 weeks before Nationals, the biggest Dragon Ball Super tournament of the year, so you can get some invaluable practice there. But besides that, it's a convention. It's going to be so much fun, especially for those of you guys like me that just absolutely love trading card games. Definitely check it out. The link to sign up will be in the description. I really hope to see you guys there. Now let's get into the video. All right, guys, I do hope to see you at the Pro Support TCG weekend. But anyways, I want to get into my favorite SCR from set 15, SS4, the Vermilion Sands. So we have a 1-drop extra card, ultimate counterattack. For each card color among cards in battle areas and energy areas, choose with one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and send it to the owner's warp. For each card sent to a warp using the skill, up to one of your leader cards gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. So notice here it says in battle areas and energy areas. So it doesn't only care about the colors in your battle area and energy area, which is very relevant. So there's a maximum of 5 colors in the game, so you can possibly warp up to 5 of your opponent's battle cards and give your leader a total of 25,000 added power for the turn. So it's a super souped up Senzu Bean and huge removal. There are some instances where this can be somewhat better than Baby Hatchiyak, which sounds kind of crazy, but if you remove your opponent's entire board and major leader 15 plus 25 40k for the whole turn, your opponent's not killing you that turn. It's just not possible. Like, Baby Hatch has the benefit of stopping all attacks, so your unison's also protected and your battle cards are protected, but still, like, where your opponent's trying to go for game on your leaders specifically, this could be a slightly better SCR than Baby Hatch because you can control their board and there's no way they're going to kill you at 40,000 power. Kind of crazy. But activate main if your opponent has 4 or more energy. Play up to 4 black and multicolored battle cards with different character names and energy costs of 2 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So that's pretty much just some added benefit for SS4 Bardock. But talking about decks you can play this in, obviously this was pretty much made for SS4 Bardock. You're charging all different colors of energy. You should be able to resolve the full effect of this card very, very easily in SS4 Bardock. Agent of Destruction, though, is also kind of a cool archetype to mess with, especially now we're getting the red yellow baby Janemba in set 15 as a TP promo. It's pretty cool that, you know, you're pretty much encouraged to play rainbow because a lot of the good AODs are different colors. You'll be playing a pretty much rainbow style deck, so this extra card can be a really solid SCR in this deck. And I even wanted to consider Icarus, and not just specifically talk about Icarus, but any deck that plays multicolor. So Icarus playing blue yellow, maybe some sort of red deck or green deck playing red green. Any deck that's playing even 2 colors, this card can be very, very effective. Like, yeah, you won't get the absolute full effect of the card, but let's just say you're playing a red blue deck or playing a blue yellow deck, whatever the case is, and your opponent's playing a green deck or a green yellow deck, for example, and they have, you know, different types of cards and colors in their energy and battle area. You'll get more added mileage out of the secret rare because your opponent's playing different colors. So in a diverse format, even if you're playing only 2 or even maybe 1 color, your opponent's playing a different color or 2 colors, you can get more value out of the SCR, which is a pretty cool thing in my opinion. And then finally, we have the SCR that was revealed in the DBS Direct episode, the Panzino, Pan Time Patrol Maiden. I do got to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed the way they kind of talked about the card, that it would be a first-time debut. I think this is something along the lines of a non-DBS character, or I could be misremembering that, but kind of the way they souped it up to be, a lot of people thought it would be a non-Dragon Ball character entirely, and that would have been super cool. A lot of people were speculating it would be a Digimon character because Digimon is the other popular Bandai game right now. That would have been sick, but it is Panzino. It is technically her first time in the game. So we have 8-drop 40k ultimate counter attack. If you have 3 or more energy, play this card. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards for the turn, and you can't activate the counter skill on copies of this card for the game. Permanent for each battle card in play, reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. Activate main, pay 1 of any color, remove this card from the game, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and gain control of it. So there are a few cool things here. This is, again, almost like a mini Baby Hatchiyak. It only restricts battle cards, though, so unisons and leaders are still free to attack. Then you have the activate main, which is almost like a Heroine's Lineage, although not during battle, but pay 1, take any battle card your opponent controls short of barrier. So you do have that added benefit over Heroine's Lineage, where you get to take things higher than 7 cost, which can be relevant. Take your opponent's SCR, although you won't be able to take any of them that say, you know, when they leave the battle area, it gets removed from the game, I don't think. But still, it's a pretty solid effect. I do like the fact that, you know, you're able to floodgate all battle cards, and I think in certain decks this can be good because you want to play this in decks where you're able to put out a good amount of bodies to make this ideally a 0 cost. You have to have 4 battle cards in play to make this a 0 cost. So what decks can do this? One of them is Gogeta Xeno. Gogeta Xeno is solid at just pumping out a board. You know, you have Thwarting, you have Peerless Fusion, you have all the 1-drops you can spam out. So it's pretty easy to have 4 battle cards to make Pan a free negate secret rare. I think that Red Starter Vegeta is also a good candidate because if you're playing the Bardock's Crew version, it's actually very easy to have at least 3 battle cards, if not more, on turn 2 with the Evolve Bardock Sand Enlightenment. He attacks, brings out another one. So it's actually relatively easy to get 4 battle cards on the board turn 2. And Yellow Turles. So Yellow and Green Turles are pretty similar in the fact that they can spam out free battle cards. Yellow Turles happens to do it by attacking, using the tree effect, putting a battle card in your life, and then comboing with it. Green Turles just has a bunch of combo cards, and particularly the Raisin Twins for both archetypes get you another body. So that's a pretty easy way to get 4 bodies on the board to make this SCR free. So those are just some cool ways to use these SCRs. But anyways, guys, I do want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.